my childhood, my games, my friends and my classmates, my teachers, my lessons, good and bad, love and sad, my success and failures, my life, my journey.
I welcome Prathibha Bhaskar.
First podcast interview, and maybe we should record the interview again after 3 to 4 years. I was a princess of my dad. So always talk of the town press. That was my first appearance on stage, addressing such a big crowd. The confidence in us came then. That was the base for us, I believe. That was a time where girls were never allowed to talk. Forget about asking questions. I came to Bangalore, and that's when life changed entirely. He was living in UK, and my parents were in Mysore. They are more than my parents. They are the second parents for me. She wrote an entrance for Russia's medical institute, and she won the scholarship. On dot, everybody should be there. Discipline, hygiene, and you should not disturb others, which never happens. And most I was available to her, hands-on, 24/7, 365 days.
Namaste and welcome to Tale of Inner Journey, which was earlier known as Tale of Inner Journey. Now we call our channel as The Journey. And today we have one of the most exclusive and interesting women. Now, I've seen her from my younger days, and there is something in this lady which she she comes from a small town, and she reaches the heights of uh, the best of best corporate levels today, and she does uh, amazingly miraculous things in her life. And she's been a uh, she's been my colleague in my very first job, and I believe that was also her first job. And I've seen her climbing up ladders from there to London, and coming back and becoming a venture capitalist, and take reviving a lot of sick industries, a lot of ventures in between. And I'm interested and excited to really listen to her story, even though I've seen a major part of her story, a major part of her life. you know uh, I've really felt exciting to bring her story today to all of my viewers. I welcome Prathibha Bhaskar. I welcome you, ma'am, for the show.
Thank you, Subbu, if I may call you so.
Anytime.
It's a pleasure to be here and my first podcast interview. And maybe we should record the interview again after 3 to 4 years to know the best journey of my life, because right now I'm in a very big a leap in my life. Like I'm starting a fintech company with a lot of different ideas with two of my partners. So I'm pretty sure that I'm going to do very well and turn the table and make a new mark of myself in the industry.
So yeah, that really means the legend is in making.
Don't know, but hope so. I am always being positive.
Very well. See, that's a whole thing. That's a whole thing which I always wanted to call you for this show. Uh,
Thank you.
Generally, the journey we start with your early childhood and things like it. I know that you grew up in a small town called Nanjangud, which is
Yes,
very near to Mysore.
myself.
So yeah, I would like to hear from you. How was your early childhood?
As you say, I come from a very humble background. My dad was a lawyer, but never practiced. He went to become a landlord because he's a very ethical person. I think most I've learned from him. He's the biggest inspiration for me in life. And we are 5 girls and 1 boy, my brother being the eldest. Though we are 6 together, but I was a princess of my dad. So it was like later, as I grew up, I could clearly understand how partial he was with other kids, and I felt very bad for it. But nevertheless, I enjoyed it too in my early childhood days. And I did my schooling in Kamal English School, and high school I came to Mysore and did my college also in Mysore. Being just 20 kilometers away from Mysore, Nanjangud, as you said, is a very small town. But my school days were fun because nowadays convent, they name it for every school run in every gullies. But then the convent which I studied was run by the sisters. The real meaning of convent was then. So my schooling was very good, and there were few teachers who really, molded me as a person. Initially, I was a child with very less talk. I never was, outgoing, never spoke. But I think after the 5th standard, the teachers recognized me. Yes, I have a hidden talent of talking in crowds and addressing the crowds and all that. So we used to have debates from different classes, and they used to make me the judge. And so by default, I was forced to talk. Maybe since then, I've started talking and addressing the crowd.
See, looking at the whole background of Nanjangud, it's a very a traditional uh, you know
Very small town, rather.
yeah, it's a very traditional small town, and people prefer girls to be in half sarees or sarees and just do the common rituals and don't talk to anybody, don't look up. No, I'm sure in in 80s,
Yes.
that's the whole trend. And how are you there? I don't see you fit in anywhere there.
Maybe that's what even my dad friends used to say when they visited the house. They said, "Do you really think she's your daughter? No way. She resembles the other siblings in complexion as in attitude and behavior." So kind of my brothers and sisters used to tease me that, see, you were not born along with us. You were bought from the roadside giving some money. That's the kind of thoughts they used to put me in. I don't know, maybe because my dad was very supportive and very encouraging. He never stopped me. His only condition was, whatever you do, nobody should say that I pampered you more and this is the reason why you're spoiled. You should never do anything that puts my head down. This one statement I've always carried, and even I carry it now. I tell the same thing to my daughter too. Rather than making me feel proud, I always say you should make your grandfather feel very proud, because if you are like this today, it is because I was brought up by him like this. So maybe my dad was the reason for me not to be the regular traditional girl. I was very mod, always talk of the town. It was fun actually when I look back.
What was your inspiration? What made you to be stand away from all these girls, the regular girls, and be something different and be something modern?
Okay. See, I always believe in hard work first thing, and though my dad, he did his law. He had a very difficult childhood. To do his law, he went through a very difficult path. And later stages, the way I used to see him working hard for me, I felt I should do something different and make my dad feel proud. So I always was very good in studies, because for dad, though I was very good at singing, dancing, for him, extracurricular activities was a big no-no. I used to plead him to get a consent when I had to perform in school for annual days and all that. And sports is a big no for him, because he felt, where if my daughter fall and get hurt. He was very possessive. He never let me go for picnics, trips, not even to my relatives' house for holidays. He was so over possessive and overprotective. And he felt very happy when I kind of did very well in my academics. And so in turn, I was permitted to do whatever I want to, but there was a line drawn telling that whatever you do, it should never bring your dignity down. That I think I was taught from when I was a child, like 4 to 5 years. Since then,
This was at home, but what was happening in the school? What was happening
school
in the convent?
in the convent, as you know, then convents were very few, and that was the only convent in Nanjangud. And the teachers and the sisters who were as teachers for us were very strict, and at the same time, they were very courteous too. When they found a student who could do multiple things, they encouraged, they recognized, they encouraged, and that's how I was the class leader for one of. There were two Satya and Shanti parties, and I used to be always the leader of one of the either of the two, and I used to perform a lot in the cultural activities. Sports was okay. I was not a very good sports athlete, but cultural activities, yes. And I used to win prizes for my singing and dancing competitions. I used to win prizes for that too. And maybe it was a combination of academics and extracurricular activities in that school. Maybe I was, I mean, encouraged to be what I am. They gave me that platform to express myself, and I had few friends also, like who were with me, and there was a tough competition actually to be dance is okay because not many girls used to compete, but when it used to come to drama and other plays which we performed, definitely there was tough competition to be to be chosen for the main lead, and most of the times I was chosen.
Well, if you pass by now today, like if you cross your convent, I've seen your convent, so I know where it is. So if you
Yeah.
pass by the highway there, what reminds you?
Oh my God. I feel now I feel little envious about the school because they've got such big buildings, such big playground and things like that. But at the same time, I feel proud the way we were very cozy. And there was a big hall where fifth, sixth, and seventh were bifurcated with just one board, one wooden board, where all the three classes were in the same hall. We used to hear the other teacher teaching the other subject and the other students making noise. But it was fun. But those days, I don't think the quality of education what we had and the teachers the way molded us. Maybe now they would, but I think ours were the best time.
But at the same time, if you look back at Nanjangud for 80s to now, like it's almost like 4 decades.
Yes.
Yeah. What do you think? What
Um,
what do you miss there?
I miss the simplicity of people there. Now it has become very commercialized. As the Nanjangud town is not a very big, it doesn't have a very big street and too many crosses and all that. It is only with two main roads, Mahatma Gandhi Road and Rashtrapati Road, only two things. And it's famous for the temple. But now all those two roads are filled with the shops, and you hardly find people and the houses to look at too. And definitely it is grown beyond our school and the other parts of Nanjangud. But I feel the time when we were there, less people, simple people whom you can approach, make friends, that you miss it now. Because now people are so engrossed in mobile, so you hardly find the kids also playing on the streets.
And as a part of the culture and the food, culture
Yeah.
always comes with the food. What is that you miss as a food from your hometown?
Okay. Basically, we're vegetarians, so I mean, as such, there is nothing much that I would miss out from that place. But definitely, the bananas what you get in Nanjangud, which is
Yeah.
famous for that I don't think we get it anywhere outside. And there also, even now, because of all the chemicals and other things, the taste is gone. The fruits which you used to get in the earlier days, I really miss it out now.
Whom you like to remember in your from your school days?
I remember quite a few, and recently, I think 3 to 4 years ago, we had Old Students Association meet, like from the school started since then to the latest, and our batchmates also met quite a few. Most of us we met, and after that also we met once or twice, and we are still in touch. Happen to meet once in a while.
Is there any teachers whom you really uh, remember of?
Yeah, I think we had Sister Maria Alice, who passed away. She was a headmistress for us, I think, from first to seventh standard. And I remember her very well because she had a beautiful smile. And always she used to say that you kids from small town are so innocent and so easily we can mold you. Not like, because earlier she was working in Bangalore. So she took a transfer and she came to Nanjangud, and that was a small town, and we live like we had a strength of I think 27 to 30 or 35, like that. So it's kind of, she knew each and everybody, and she was very, very nice. So I can never forget Mr. Marialis. And we had that PT teacher called Javed. I think he also passed away, and he was very strict. Oh my God, he used to make us run 5, 5, 10 rounds in the field, and that was like, that's the only punishment one used to get if they don't attend the PT classes properly. And I had one more teacher called Severin Miss. She used to teach biology, and she was also very fond of me. Every year I used to get prizes in the annual day, and once I missed it out, and she gave a special prize for me. I think it was in grade 2. I have kept that book with me. It was a drawing book, and she said, what if you don't get a prize on the stage? I give you a prize. And she gave me it in the classroom in front of everybody. So that was a moment which I will never forget.
Wow. From that small town coming to Mysore, another big chunk of heritage, and for those days, yes, for comparatively, it was little high tech. Uh,
Yeah.
the comparatively the other towns around Mysore. So how did you feel coming to Mysore for further studies?
Actually, again, my father, as I said, never said no to anything. I wanted to join for high school in Mysore, and I wanted to live in the hostel. I wanted to experience the hostel life. But his condition was, I'll put you to Mysore, but no hostel. You have to travel from Nanjangud, so it's up and down. And something was better than nothing. Rather than a complete no, I said, okay, fine, with sad heart. I said, okay, I'll travel. So I joined Christ the King Convent for my high school. And after finishing my 10th, I went to Marimalappas College. Then I did my engineering. And, later I did my MBA from Mysore University as marketing as my specialization.
Wow. But from one convent to another convent, and uh, I, I remember you mentioning it at some time while we were going in the bike. You had really good gang of girls who used to travel in the bus.
Yes, actually, though my father could afford anything, but and everything, he never wanted me to drive a car or ride a scooter because he felt it is very unsafe. So by default, I used to travel by train for high school and for college by bus. And we were quite few from Nanjangud to travel to Mysore at that time. And but in the city bus, we had a good crowd, like all college girls and guys used to wait for 29, bus number 29 and bus number 30 for going to JC. And there was a on the other side of the road in front of the college, there were like the compound of a house which was nice to sit, and we used to sit there and drag the students. And once, I mean, in our group, there was one girl called Sujata. She was my junior. And she looked very simple, uh, just the girl next door. And nobody even could believe that she could tease somebody, or forget about teasing, that even she could talk to a guy. But she was the culprit in the group. When all of us used to rag, and when they moved on, she used to whistle so loudly, that if the guys, she used to sit next to me, and if they turn back, they used to look at me because I was very mod, I looked very bold. So they all thought, and one guy came to fight with me, and I was trying to explain it is not me, it's her. But he never believed. So there are such instances in my life wherein my looks were taken in a different way.
Wow. So from there to graduation, then I think that's where further to it, you started your first job. Would you like to share
Yes.
something about it?
My first job definitely was in Raman Computer Center, now called RIIT, where students and were trained for computers courses, like which was a boom then to get into software and things like that. So it was fun. My whole intention of joining for a job was just to be with my best friend Sangeeta, who was working as a counselor there. It's My dad never wanted me to work, so he said, 1 or 2 years you be at home, then get married. I'll find one rich guy for you. And my dream was also the same. I never was having big dreams like I have to achieve this, I have to achieve that. For me, it was just that I have to get married to a rich guy and settle and be a homemaker and spend money. That was my things then. And one day when I met Sangeeta, she said there's an opening for a receptionist in our training center. Why don't you join? And I went, and the way I spoke, I was selected immediately by default. And it was just for fun I joined. But I should say my first boss, Venkatesh sir, was the person who could see my hidden abilities or talents, that I could do much more than just talking over the phone. That's when one of the days the counselor was on leave, and 2-3 days she was on leave, and I just sat in her place, and my conversion of the walk-ins was around 90 to 95%. So he said, no, now you're promoted to be a counselor, you better sit and counsel and get the business done than sitting and talking unnecessarily on the phone. And moreover, like Venkatesh sir's friend, most of them used to come to the center to know who is the one who receives the phone and talks so sweetly. So that was also there. So I said, I better replace you from that place. And he made me the counselor. And I proved myself beyond his expectation. And later I was made as a student accounts holder. Then I was put as a center head, the entire responsibility of the team. And that's when you joined. I counseled you, you joined as a student, and after finishing your course you were the faculty, and I am proud to say that I'm your first boss.
Oh yeah. Yes, she was center manager when I was taking care of marketing there, and I still remember 222 102.
Your student. Wow.
No, the phone number of your boy. Yeah, 333 102.
Okay, not bad. I don't remember that.
So yeah, it was fun old days, and we did quite a few good assignments for Ramans and
Yes.
city corporation, police,
Yeah, police.
uh, academy.
Karnataka State Police of Ma'am in Mysore City Commissioner, Police Commissioner had given us the privilege to train their faculties. Mysore Lax and Paints, who manufacture the ink for elections, we trained them. Then we trained many of the batches from Mysore City Corporation, not only the staff, but also under the scheme of SJSRY, that Jawaharlal Nehru scheme. We trained, I think, more than 600 to 1,000 students in the basic computer training course. Yeah, that was a real fun time then, to see all the elders coming and sitting as students in your class. That was really fun.
And yeah, so the best part, what I remember of those days, which I would like to bring up now, is the Racco Fest.
Yeah, I was about to talk about that.
So what is your best memories of Racco Fest?
I think when I joined the first year in 1998, and it was the first, the Racco Fest was held in December, and I joined sometime in November. It was just 1 month's duration that I could witness the first Racco Fest, how it was happening. Like, you used to get entries from the other schools. The students were assigned as, to visit different schools and get them to participate in the event. And first year it was just I witnessed, but second year I think seeing my way of talking and communication, and the intonation of my voice and all that, Venkatesh sir said, why don't you MC the entire event? That was my first appearance on stage addressing such a big crowd. and it was a grand success. And many people ask sir that who was she who did so well on the stage. So I really feel those days were fun. And then next year I was a center head, the third Ranko Fest. I was heading the center, and I was a chief guest, judging the event, fashion shows, debates, quiz. It was so fun because we had students from NI and JC Engineering College who were fighting for one trophy. I mean, they would have done so much, but this event, which was held in Kalamandir in a very big way, I think it gave a very big boost for everybody to be a proud Ramanite then.
So, the moment you say you're Ramanite, you are something different, and you belong in Balal Circle, and you are
Yes,
there, and
yes.
everybody knows you there.
Yeah, true, true, true.
That was a different identity altogether. It was
Maybe
really fun.
it's for us now to be so, open to public, to talk, to address, to explain. The confidence in us came then. That was the base for us, I believe.
Yeah, the kind of exposures what we used to give at the age of like 18 and 19, you go attend the meetings and corporations and commissioner office and this DC
Yeah,
offices,
yeah,
and go to CILs and step. Those are the things which we could never even think of.
yeah,
No,
true, true. I think we're very blessed. We're very privileged, actor, rather to say that we had all those opportunities given for us.
and of course the MysoreIT.com, being in organizing committee, that
Right, yeah,
exposure.
investigation of information technology, the meet which was held, and Ms. Venkatesh sir was the president. We had stalls, we had people walking in, and we were so excited to explain and convert them as students. It was fun, actually.
Yeah, that not for just for both of us. It really bought a strong foundation for many of us.
Yes,
And
we
in
were-
fact, from there we started our Rotary journeys of Rotaract and
yeah.
things. I'm sure you will remember it.
Yes, definitely, definitely. And the team was quite vibrant, young and vibrant, because Lokesh, you, Sunita, then Balu, Suman, to name many others. I mean, it was such a vibrant team. And whenever we used to call the chief guest for many of the events which we held in the center also, I think the deputy commissioner, I don't remember his name as such right now, but he came twice as a chief guest, and in the span of 2 years, and he was like, I'm glad I see the same faces, which is very difficult to see nowadays, in especially in these kind of sectors, training centers. They switch jobs very easily, and I'm so glad that I see the same faces for 2 years. That was a compliment we used to get.
Yeah, and
By the way, that DC was Mr. Bhaskar.
yes, Mr. Bhaskar, and we also had Mr. Chandrasekhar IPS couple of times.
Yes, for IT brains, which we
Right
conducted
away.
where students developed softwares, and they had a display, an exhibition, and Mr. Jairam, the Muda commissioner, and Mr. Chandrasekhar, the police commissioner, presided the function, and they were very glad to see the amount of talent they could witness in that event. I still remember that.
Uh, there is one picture of our meeting. It's in my Facebook. I'll share it along with the video
Sure,
when it comes.
sure.
In
That
the
was
good old
a
days.
nice pic, very priceless, I should say.
Yeah, that's true. Those are the really amazing days and good old memories. From there to further, to Bangalore, to London, the journey goes on.
Yes, I think I had a stint of 4 years in Raman Computers, and later I felt yes, I also need to move up and do something in life, because Venkatesh sir always told me that you have so much more in you, and you are not ready to explore or find opportunities to put yourself in much better place. So one day I decided, okay, let me go to Bangalore. And that was not all the reason. Here at home, my brother started forcing me to get married. And I was not ready to just agree to anybody and anybody whoever comes to see me. And by then I was clear of what I want in life. I wanted to be a better person every year. And I expect the same from my partner, from my life partner as well. So when the guys used to come, rather than they asking me, I was the one who used to ask, so where do you see yourselves from 5 years from now? And that was a time where girls were never allowed to talk. Forget about asking questions. She was only made to sit there and answer their questions, which I never followed. So I think 2 or 3, my brother was fed up. And I also felt it's high time, if I'm here, they're going to force me to get married. So then I moved to Bangalore. And that also happened very sudden because I think Sangeeta has played a major role in my life. After from Raman, she moved to Bangalore for ICICI One Source. And we used to meet once in a while. And one day when I came to Bangalore to meet her, she said, there's an interview happening here for a team leader. So why don't you just give a try? And I was not ready. I just went in and they interviewed me and they said, you're selected. You can join from, I think it was somewhere on 19th or 20th of the month. They said, you can join from 1st of next month. And I was like, really? Because this is sudden. And the first challenge was, how am I going to convince my dad? Because for him, sending me to Bangalore is sending to abroad. That is a kind of this thing he has. And I was like, how am I going to convince him? But I didn't want to lose that opportunity. Maybe that was a turning point in my life for a very big this thing. Then I came home and after having dinner, slowly I started, Papa, you know what? The way I start, he knows that there is something coming. Says that, what do you need now? I said, no, nothing. It's just that an offer I've got. One of my friend, as you know, Sangeeta, she's there is a post for team leader, and we had telephonic interview. I didn't say that I'd been to Bangalore for interview. I said it was a telephonic interview, and they chose me. And it's just a 3 months training in Bangalore, and they'll put me back to Mysore. My dad was so innocent; he didn't know that there was no call center in Mysore. So he was like, because it was ICICI as a brand, people I mean, they think it only as a bank. They never think beyond that. And those days, no social media, no TVs to this section where every minute and every second you're updated with different things. So he said he was very reluctant, but still my tears played a major role, and he had no other choice but to say yes. And I came to Bangalore, and that's when life changed entirely. I'd come to Bangalore with two perspectives. One is, either I have to grow professionally and make a niche of myself in a big way, or I have to settle personally with the guy whom I want to be with. My dad said yes, but only thing is, you have to choose a guy from our community. That was the biggest the condition that was levied on me, that the guy should not be from other community. But I also didn't violate, because when dad had given me everything what I wanted in life, this one thing I never wanted to make him feel for the rest of his life that I didn't listen to him. So when I was in ICICI One Source as team leader, I had plenty of guys approaching me for relationship, for serious relationship, and for marriage. But unfortunately, I never found somebody from our community. That was the saddest thing. And I told them very clearly, see, I'm sorry. I never take it next level. Let's be friends, because I would never say no. I mean, yes, for this kind of relationship. So I happened to meet one day one of the colleague called Prathna. She kind of she said, let's see somebody online, because you can give your terms. And she also wanted to look for somebody to get settled. That's when we simply registered it on in a matrimony site and started looking. And there I happened to meet my husband, Bhaskar. His parents had posted the uh, details, and he was living in UK, and my parents were in Mysore. That caught my interest, because I never wanted to meet somebody where the entire family is abroad and you never know what is happening there, and how far the facts and truths are we could believe in. So since the parents were in Mysore, this one profile, kind of attracted me. And then we changed numbers and mails. And one day he called, and conversation went on for 3 to 4 months, and suddenly he disappeared. And I was like, what's wrong? How is this? I just ignored it. I said, maybe this doesn't work. So I was never in a hunt for the next person at all. And after 2, 3 months, again, I got a call back that please go and meet my parents. They live in Mysore. That was all of a sudden. It was a bit of shocking way. Then when I went to meet my in-laws, I should say they are more than my parents. They are the second parents for me. Both of them were doctors, graduated from the UK itself. My mother-in-law, she's a great lady. She is a Tamilian from Sri Lanka, and she came from a family of 10 kids, 5 boys and 5 girls, from a very
Wow.
poor background. And she in 1940s, you imagine, where girls were never allowed to get out of the house. And she was one who was very good in studies. She wrote an entrance for Russia's medical institute, and she won the scholarship. And with
Wow.
just a little money and one suitcase of 3, 4 pairs of clothes, she left Sri Lanka to Russia, did her study, medicine there, then came to UK to work, met my father-in-law, who was a very intelligent man. He was doing FRCS there. And that's when they got met and decided to get married. And they had 2 kids, like Bhaskar and his sister Sushila. But they both were born there. But my father-in-law wanted the kids to live in India and get to know the values and then go back to UK. So both of them came back to India with my mother-in-law. And after he did his engineering in RV College, he left back to UK. So though he lived 20 years in India, his heart is still a Brit, because he feels life is it's a straight line. There is no cross. It has to be straight, and that's why he finds it difficult to adjust in here, because here we take things lightly, and we kind of make adjustments, which he never does. And my daughter, unfortunately, though she's also been raised here, and she's in 12th now, and she'll be going to UK for her higher studies. She's by birth, though she's here, she's also proper British, who always kind of lives a lifestyle like that. On dot, everybody should be there, discipline, hygiene, and you should not disturb others, which never happens. And most of them, I would say, is not like that. So
Yeah, that
I don't.
sense of space.
Yeah, I don't know what is that, but after a year, she also is leaving for UK.
Wow. Okay. So from there to ICICI 1 to how did Pratibha, no, we heard how did Pratibha become Prathibha Bhaskar, but how did Pratibha become a venture capitalist?
I think that also the credit goes to my husband, uh, because he's somebody, he's a very simple and a humble man who lives a very simple life. I think the daughter also goes on him itself. I think I live their lives, including mine. I live their lives too. I'm very ambitious. I love luxuries, and I have a lot of passions for cars, jewelries, clothes, but they both are very simple. My husband had one car for 10 years, and wherein I have 18 cars for 20 years. So 22 years rather. So that's a difference. You can see how he lives life and how I live life. But very, very grateful to God, because He's blessed me with a husband and a daughter it's more than my desire and my deserve. Maybe that inner happiness has kept me very positive towards life, and I've been able to do many things. After I married, I went to UK, and then I came back after Siree was born in 2006. And later till 2010, I never did anything, because I wanted to make sure I gave the best of my times to the daughter. So I was available to her, hands on, 24/7, 365 days. Maybe today, when I look back, those 4 or 5 years has made us so independent. And she's evolved as a great human, because her basics were very right. And after when she started going to school and from first grade, because it was a full day school, then the first business I started was there was a sick unit for a packaged drinking water unit in Banimantap, Mysore, and it was not doing well for many years. And my neighbor happened to know that I wanted to do something, try my hands in business, and he was his friend. Then he arranged a meeting, and I took over as a working partner. And that sick unit was revived into a profitable business. And most of the institutions and banks and all that had Sindhu as a packaged drinking water brand supplied to them. And even today, it has been run with a different brand, but run by one of my staff, because he was so hardworking and he wanted to do something in life, was lagging because of the financial problems. I said, you take over the entire business. And even today, he runs and earns quite a good money. And I'm happy to see him that though he's not taken it to the next level, but he's maintained it and he's doing his best. That is one thing. And after that, I think I had to come to Bangalore. Because I had a house here. But my daughter was very reluctant to come to Bangalore. She wanted to study in Mysore itself. So I used to travel from Mysore to Bangalore and started real estate business. And I have a commercial building in Jayanagar, Bangalore. I have a residential building in RR Nagar and a shop. Like there are quite a few buildings where I have built and one is I joined hands with somebody else, with my neighbor. And I started getting income from that. And this was not that I was not just looking for money. I wanted to do something wherein I'm connected with people. See, you can't make me to sit in a place from 9 to 5 jobs. Those kind of a things. I'm not very happy about it. So I thought, let me do something else. So that's when I started a boutique in Nagarbhavi BDA complex. And it was also doing well. And later I sold the brand to somebody else and they moved in to a different area. And now that shop is there, but running with a different business. And along with that, I started gems and jewelry business. Because I'm very passionate about gold and diamonds and all that. Whoever used to see me, they used to say how pretty the design. It looks so unique. We've never seen this. So that's how it started actually. And the way I used to dress, people were fond and they were curious to know, like, where did I shop? Where did I get it stitched? So boutique and these two were the parallelly which I ran, but not online. It was offline and for very closely knit circle. I used to do this, and even now I do for closely knit people. And after that, I think my husband got quite a big money from one of the properties sold in UK. So that was when my eyes fell on it. So I asked him whether I could have some and become a venture capitalist. So that I'm not at a great risk. Of course, there is risk, but there's a calculative risk. So he, as like my dad, he also never says no for anything whenever I ask. And he gave me some, and now I have stakes at in 4 to 5 brands, which I can't name it for various reasons. And that's how it all started.
Wow. But what made what happened inside from that small town girl to today to the boutico, the designers, and uh, the venture capitalism, and what changed inside?
See, actually, maybe because I kind of, I'm quite I don't say I'm a very reserved person. Of course, I make friends, but more than friends, I can say they're all my acquaintances, because friends are somebody whom you can vibe well, who is there for you in your good and bad times, and whom you can trust that he or she is there just a phone call away. I could not meet, maybe because I used to travel from Mysore to Bangalore, and my daughter was very small, and my concentration was only on my daughter, my business, and running around from Bangalore to Mysore, because I was building a four-store building in RR Nagar, like a residential building. So it was too much to run around, and I was so very engrossed in my work. Since I didn't have many friends, maybe that was an advantage for me, that I read books. I watched videos of people who are self-made. Even today, when people compliment me, I don't take compliments from anybody and everybody, but people who are self-made, who have seen world, who have seen life, and they've come up in their own way, I mean, without any support. When they say that you're good, you're this, you're that, that's when I really feel, okay, though I've not achieved very big, but yes, of course, when somebody who's achieved in life is recognizing me and they're telling me, it makes me feel very happy about it. If not very proud, I don't say I've achieved a lot. There's a long way to go, I know. But I feel very happy when people like that, like many IPS officers, IAS officers, when I go to meet them for my work, and they say, usually people who approach us, they're very kind of, they don't open up so much. They look us as if we are somebody who are ready to pounce on them. But I am somebody who get into conversation very quickly and make them very comfortable, like as if we are talking to friends. I tell them, see, you are an officer, yes, fine, but you're also a human being. You're officer from 9 to 5 or 10 to 6, whatever. After that, you live your normal life. So I see you in both sense. For me, more than your position, your personality matters. And even with friends, when I meet somebody, there are friends who become very close just in 5 to 6 days, and whom I'm not close, for people whom I know from many years. So for me, the personality of a person matters than what they are in their personal life.
What is that message you want to give for the all your uh,
People I mean, I'm no big person who has done so much in life to give message, but definitely I would like to say is, first you love yourself, then you can love others. See, when you love yourself, you will be fit, you will be happy, you will be positive, you'll be vibrant, and when you make the surrounding also the same. There are many women, basically women I'm talking about, is once the kids are in a born, they think their life takes a backseat. So I say, give yourself minimum at least 1 hour for yourself throughout the day, maybe 20 minutes, half an hour first in the morning to work out, because being healthy is very important nowadays, and it gives you such energy that throughout the day you don't feel tired, and you look for new things. The early you start, the days will be brighter. That's what I have experienced. I think Corona was a time everyone realized how health is very important. That's when I also started a brand called AYURSIREE for chemical free and natural products, which were offline as usual. And it did a very good business during Corona time. But unfortunately, my partner left for Pune, so I could not make it online. And by then, this fintech came into picture. So I didn't want to, kind of, because this is a very big venture, I thought let that take backseat for some time, and maybe future again I'm going to revive and come back with a different ball game altogether. And that's when I also started the importance of working out, keeping fit. And I'll tell you, for me, everybody has a motivation to do something. Like few follow the stars to keep themselves fit and follow them. Few may feel for themselves that, okay, at least I should not look like this and look like that, let me groom. But for me, if you ask me, my biggest motivation to stay fit is my clothes. I never want to outgrow from my clothes, because I have shopped so much, and my husband and my daughter say that we have to build a new house just to keep your clothes. So that's the kind of shopping I do. And I always feel looking nice. It's not for others. See, you look nice for yourself. That gives such a positive spirit for you, and that makes you feel nice and do things in a better way than being very shabby and very gloomy and being sad. And you make the other person who is looking at you also the same. See, people are your reflection. how you treat them is what they respond. So I always tell people, give some time for yourself. Nowadays, you don't even need to go to gym. There are various social medias wherein you can see many videos and simple exercises which keeps you. Once you start seeing the result, you yourself will upgrade yourself for a tougher ones. So health is very important, and giving time is a must for everybody, whether it's a male or a female. Giving time for yourself is a must.
Okay, so I have your last three questions. One, what is it message you want to give for all small town girls?
There is nothing called sorry, there is nothing called small town, big town now, because everything it's become the entire globe has become a small village. Like everything is in your fingertips. Dhoni from Ranchi can make it up. Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji can make it up as a chai wala, and there are many females. That Lijjat Papad, a housewife who started, and from North Karnataka there are many females who do this Jolat Roti business, and they run the family, and now they have made self-help groups. So nothing is impossible now. Only thing is, more than motivation, discipline is very important, because motivation will be there with you for 3 days, 3 months, 3 years, so definitely not possible. But discipline is something, once you cultivate, it will never make fail in what you do. That's always, I believe. It's my personal experience.
Wow. Okay. That brings up a lot of motivation from many of there.
Thank you.
The second thing, as an entrepreneur, as somebody who started a career from the receptionist to entrepreneur today, or venture capitalist today, your experience as a woman in
Yes.
Indian society, because you've seen UK, you've seen India, you've seen the olden days of India, you've seen the modern days of India, you've been part of the whole transit. We are all been part of the whole technology transit, and the IT transit and things like it. So
Yes.
as a woman, how did India treat you?
I wouldn't say it was an easy path for me to do things. At the same time, it is not difficult as well. Every field and every business has its own pros and cons, ups and downs, and challenges. As I said, never give up. That is one thing. You might fail in one business, two business. There are females who have built crores of rupees of business, who have failed 7 to 80 times. So failure, as elders say, it's a stepping stone for success. So never judge your failures, and stop dreaming. Dream big. You will definitely achieve big, and for that, dedication and discipline is very important. And being cautious is also very important, because nowadays lot of scams happening. So when it comes to finance, make sure you take second opinion, consult people with who are related to that particular business. Maybe before entering into anything, groundwork is very, very important. You have to have a proper plan, and as I say, work to plan first and then execute it. That's what I always believe. And be cautious. Nothing is impossible, and sky is the limit if you're disciplined.
Wow. So according to you, what is the next upcoming industries you would like to venture out in?
That's what I am getting into the field of finance with fintech, and we are also planning for something called alkaline water. Now that's in the trend, and we are planning to export than having it in India. And there are a few other things. Not only earning for myself, it's like I have two other partners, Mr. Sunil and Mr. Abhishek. We are all like-minded people, and we believe in giving back to the society. So we are planning to set up. We don't want to set up an NGO and say that, oh, okay, this is non-profitable, and do all the other things in the name of NGO. But we really want to concentrate on kids from military background. Like there are many Jawans who are retired and come back, and they don't have enough money. Especially we want to support girls who are in 10th grade, 12th grade, who want to go further, but they're not able to because of financial problems. We would pick from remote villages, because towns and cities, it is fine. They somehow manage to find help. But remote places, it is very difficult for them, and you find abundant talent in those places. So we kind of want to bring them to the limelight, give them a platform, and make them independent financially, so that they could take it further. They could make a difference in 2-3 other lives. That's the success of ours. That's what we believe in.
Wow. So yeah, it was really wonderful talking to you.
Is my Subbu. I don't know how far I was, but I'm being very honest in whatever I have expressed myself, and I'm very happy because just last week when I was watching the podcast, I keep watching a lot of podcasts because you can find different people as guests, and you get to learn so much from them. And when it is audio visual, you remember it very well. So I also was just thinking, okay, when will I start a podcast, or when will I be a guest in the podcast? And you made my dream come true in a span of 1 week. Maybe, as I always am a blessed child, whatever I ask for, I'm never denied.
That trust makes all the difference.
Yes.
That trust brings you everything. It was wonderful talking to you. It was nice. You brought up a lot of memories of mine. I have next 24 hours, 48 hours to cherish all of them. And
Thank
it was really nice having you here. We are stopping this just because of time thing. Otherwise,
you.
there's a lot to talk. And yeah, we will take it up further on many other occasions. You would be still coming back to the channel, and
Definitely.
we will do many more podcasts. Yep.
Thank you so much, Subbu. And I definitely want to come back maybe once in 2 years, because my dreams would have been to a different height. And I definitely want to share it with people, because even if I motivate one or two and they do something, I'm happy that I have achieved something in life. Thank you so much for inviting for your channel. And it was great talking to you.
It was nice talking to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.